streaming only on Peacock.
What do you know about Dr. Dunch?
He was charming, intelligent.
My patients mean everything to me.
Based on the unbelievable true story.
I can't make sense of it.
Dunch has 2 deaths that we know of. The state of Texas has executed people for less.
It's like he knew what he was supposed to do.
And he did the exact opposite.
Dr. Death, starring Joshua Jackson with Christian Slater and Alec Baldwin.
I am going to fix you.
All episodes streaming now, only on Peacock. Streaming only on Peacock.
She was this moneyed, social girl.
Ghislaine Maxwell had it all until she met Jeffrey Epstein.
Maxwell helped connect him to the wealthy and famous.
Then it all came crashing down.
Ghislaine Maxwell's charged with enticement of minors, sex trafficking of children, and perjury.
Now a new 3-part documentary reveals her story.
How on earth could she have got to this place?
Epstein's Shadow, Ghislaine Maxwell. Streaming now, only on Peacock.
Death row inmate and dating game killer Rodney Alcala dies of natural causes in the hospital. EMT inside hijacked Houston FD ambulance hailed his hero, and a Texas pastor accused of sex with a 15-year-old girl at church, motel, and bonus supplying meth. All of that today on the dark side of Wikipedia.
Sometimes the human mind goes to dark places. Sometimes those dark delusions turn into reality. A reality so shaded in gray. Once all is said and done, the healthy mind is drawn into the documented retelling of these tragic events, trying to find logic, reason, and understanding where there may be none at all. This is the dark side of Wikipedia.
Yep, that's what it is. Welcome to the program. It's our Dark Side of the News, our weekly news roundup here on the Dark Side of Wikipedia. If you like our program and you'd like us to continue existing, we'd love for you to become a Dark Sider. Just sign up over at patreon.com/dark side of Wikipedia. $5 a month is all it is. You get access to all of our advanced episodes, the full archive of episodes, the final chapters, and it's all commercial free. 0 ads for you to just enjoy and binge away on and help keep us on the air. Again, patreon.com/dark side of Wikipedia. Tony and Carol with you on today's episode of the Dark Side of the News. What's going on?
Hey, Tony. So I think that dating game killer dying should be on the awesome side of Wikipedia podcast.
Once a contestant, now dead, but he was on death row. And what got him before death row? Life, death. Yeah. A convicted murderer on California's death row known as the dating game killer died of natural causes early on Saturday morning. Rodney James Alcala, 77, died in a hospital in Kings County, California on Saturday, July 24th at about 1:43 a.m. The California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation stated this. Further details of Alcala's death were not disclosed. Alcala had been serving time on death row after multiple California trials. Alcala had been sentenced to death in Orange County in 1980 for the 1979 kidnapping and murder of 12-year-old Robin Samso, the CDCR said. That judgment was reversed in 1984 by the California Supreme Court, and Alcala was granted a new trial. In 1986, Alcala was sentenced to death again for the murder. A federal appeals court overturned the sentence in 2003, and Alcala was given a new trial. In 2010, the Orange County jury convicted Alcala of 5 counts of first-degree murder, and he was sentenced to death for killing Samso. And for the 1977 deaths of Jim Barcombe, Georgia Wickstead, and the 1978 death of Charlotte Lamb, and the 1979 death of 21-year-old Jill Peranto. In 2013, Alcala pled guilty to the 1971 murder of Cornelia Crilly and to the 1977 murder of Ellen Jane Hoover, and was sentenced to 25 years to life in prison. Alcala was charged in Wyoming with the murder of 28-year-old Christine Ruth Thornton, whose body was found 4 years after she disappeared. Thornton was 6 months pregnant when she was found dead. Alcala is suspected in other murders in Los Angeles and Marin County, California, Washington, New York, New Hampshire, and Arizona. Alcala was a contestant on the television show The Dating Game in 1978. No prisoners have been executed in California since '06. The Orange County Register reports a moratorium on the death penalty was declared in 2019 by Governor Gavin Newsom. So there you go. He has finally met the gong on the Gong Show, and he's gone.
He's gone.
He's gone.
That's why I'm everything you just said is why I'm totally okay with him being dead. And I think it should have happened sooner. And I think it's a shame for all of those families that had to live through those trials over and over and over again. And he's sentenced to death, but then that doesn't happen. It's like, oh, look, we've granted him yet another new trial. And it's technicalities. And he was a horrible,
deplorable, disgusting human being. Yeah.
I was going to rattle off a bunch. And so I'm like, I think, and you and I have talked about this, you jump to it usually faster than me, but I just think the world's probably a better place without someone like him in it.
It is.
It's less negative. It's less hateful. It's less horrific. And, and maybe that gives those families a little bit of peace knowing that he's not breathing.
Yeah.
And, we don't have to feed him. Taxpayer dollars aren't going towards that.
Exactly. I don't know why this is such a hard thing to grasp, with people like this. I
do think the bar needs to be extremely high.
I agree.
For death penalty. I think someone like him who just had absolutely no regard for human life.
But you know what?
None at all.
I think it should be extremely high, but you know what? I think it's almost too high right now in some cases because we have stories, did one earlier today.
Well, he's a good example.
Yeah,
actually.
we had the story that was actually on last week's episode. The guy who killed his girlfriend and 9-year-old daughter and stabbed his son, and he did not get the death penalty. He got life in prison. Why? I mean, what purpose does this blob of human flesh serve that did this sort of thing? What is the point? Why are we keeping it and feeding it? I mean, and at that point when you do that shit, that's just kind of what you are. I don't care. It's like you're just a thing. You no longer have value.
Even, and we talked about it a few weeks back. There's a case here with a couple guys called the Carr brothers, and what they did was absolutely horrific.
Yeah.
Horrific. Carr, if you want to look them up.
Yeah, and have a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, it's horrific. And they were both sentenced to death, but we don't do the death penalty in Kansas. I mean,
it's kind of surprising.
We dish it out.
Yeah.
But they're, but I don't know, it's been 10 years.
Yeah. Is there like a moratorium on it or something or what?
I don't know. But I think that's the way most of them are. It's like you could be sentenced to death, but it doesn't happen for a very long time.
No.
I don't know. I just, you and I did a dark side episode about the dating game killer, and it's dark. Like what he did was horrific.
Yeah.
And so many lives were affected. Like you just rattled off so many names of people he killed.
Yeah, then multiply that.
Each one of those people, exactly. They all have family, they have friends, they have people who loved them, they had lives, they worked, and there's so many people who had to go through such a horrific thing. I just, so that just doesn't bother me at all. I'm like, I'm okay with that.
There's a show right there, a drama comedy. Maybe this has already been done. Tell me if it has been, because I suspect a show that might be like this, but I've never watched it, where you have a doctor that is kind of vigilante, and instead, of caring for the patients that have like done horrible shit, his whole thing is like torturing them and like killing them, but nobody knows nobody's on the wiser. It's like very secretively done. Was that Dexter? Did Dexter do that?
I never saw Dexter.
I never watched Dexter either, but I know he was kind of like doing, twisted shit. I should watch that one. I
need a new series to watch. Maybe I should do that one. I need something.
I've been thinking about watching 6 Feet Under again because I haven't seen that in forever.
That was so good.
It was a good one. But
I've just been watching the Olympics.
Really?
A lot of, yeah.
You're the one person that's been watching the Olympics. Congratulations.
Because I don't have anything else to watch.
NBC thanks Carol Hughes in Wichita, Kansas for tuning in to Tokyo, or where is it? Is it Tokyo?
Tokyo. Yeah.
To Tokyo 2020 in 2021. 2020. We already did the voiceover last year.
2021.
2021 on NBC. And now Katie Couric. Hi, Bryant. I don't know why I'm here. I left NBC many years ago, but they bring me back every now and then, just like every network does. They like me for a couple months, and then I'm gone.
What's so funny about the Olympics this year is I don't know any of these people who are covering them.
Really?
It's all B team and C team.
Really?
Because it's like the A team's like, I ain't covering
Isn't like
that.
Bob Costas like one of their...
No, huh?
No shit.
No.
I wonder if he said, I'm out, I'm not going.
Because they had like one guy who seems to kind of host it because it's all the highlight reel when you watch in the evenings.
Sure.
And because like I knew like going into, I started watching it for a little bit tonight. So I already knew who was going to win the gold. So it's kind of like, I kind of want to see what they did.
Mm-hmm.
And, but the people who are, I don't know anybody.
Wow.
I don't know any of them. Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. Oh, wait, here's a promo. You're watching the Olympics on NBC. Now, live from Tokyo, your host, Matt Lauer. Hi, it's Matt Lauer. You may remember me from the Today Show. I guess the C team couldn't make it, but we're happy to be here. I have Savannah Guthrie. Oh, she's not here either. Hoda's not here?
No.
Okay.
No, they all hate you.
There appears to be no females on set this morning, but welcome to the Thanksgiving Day parade. Oh, this is the Olympics. Okay. I'm Matt Lauer, and this is Today on... it's the Olympics. Okay. Well, I'm terribly sorry. You are watching the Olympics, Tokyo 2020 on NBC.
21.
Did they install the button on my dressing room door here? Because I want to use the button. I told him I want the button. Oh, shit, the mics are still on.
Oh, shit, did I say shit?
I'm sorry. No, the button that locks the door. Yes. Is that an intern? Send her over. Okay. Matt Lauer and the Olympics on NBC.
2021.
There you go.
It kind of feels like that. Like they built these ginormous stadiums with nobody in them. Like on the women's gymnastics, I noticed this ginormous video screen. Yeah. And like in the whole stadium, there's, I don't know, a few hundred people. Why do they need this ginormous screen? They've got really good seats. I'm like, I think just the weirdest thing. All of they built all this stuff and there's nobody there.
But it was all constructed though prior to COVID, so they were expecting to have a full house and all that. And now what's one of the most interesting things to look at online is former Olympic parks, because so many of them are such a waste of money.
Huge waste of money.
In some cities, they really have done a great job repurposing them, but that's a minority of cities. In so many cities, they're just these behemoth stadiums that otherwise, would be there and be built for like the NFL or something, and then they just sit abandoned because these towns don't need that level of arenas and sporting complexes.
Well, and I was thinking about this today as I was watching the Olympics over my lunch hour, because like I said, this is all I do lately.
Yeah.
But they had like I don't know what kind of bicycling it was. It wasn't really, they were kind of like dirt bikes. They were really small bikes like that, but the ramps were kind of hilly, small little up and down, up and down, up and down.
Power wheels. They've added power wheels to the Olympics.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
So I didn't know what that. They never really did make it clear.
It's Barbie Jeeps.
Like that.
Barbie Jeeps is what they're racing.
It was kind of like that.
Yes.
Because they're small bikes and the guys are pretty big. And then when they sit on them, anyways.
It's the bronies.
You've seen those guys driving down the street with a wife beater on and a cigarette. It's that kind of size bicycle. Mm-hmm. And so it's this weird little rampy paved thing, and the sides are super, super steep. So you got to go really fast to get around it. And I'm like, There's nobody like, why not have the Olympics in several places around the world? Like gymnastics can be held in Montreal, and then track and field is at the University of Virginia. And, you know, like, why not just do that with it rather than build these big places? Because I'm like, once all these people leave, that track's just going to get torn down. Who needs that? Why not do it where they already have those tracks?
Well, I think they're planning on turning it into a giant golden corral, actually, after the Olympics. It's going to be the world's largest, going to be a big tourist attraction for Tokyo.
So it's like, because, you know, in Japan, the Golden Corral is super popular.
Oh, my God. Yeah. I mean, have you...
Who doesn't love a salad bar and a shitty baked potato?
Yeah. I mean, it's some of the best food you're going to get in Japan is a Golden Corral.
Oh, my God. This is bringing back bad memories of the holidays the year before last.
I went to Golden Corral the other day. And Harper, you know, when you're a kid and you go to a buffet, it's just the most amazing thing. And she still has that look of wonderment in her eyes when we...
I can have any of these desserts, Dad. Are you kidding me?
When we approach a buffet.
Oh,
I just got to be like, okay, honey.
They have prime rib and chicken.
It's like, honey...
And pizza.
Avoid the fish, and that chicken there looks like it might have some salmonella on it, so let's go with this piece over here. Good choice. Yeah, the one that looks kind of cooked. Yeah, the one that doesn't have all the flies on it. Yeah, let's go for that one, hon. Okay, good. Yeah.
You know, so it's just weird to me. Like, I just think that the Olympics is something, and this is so off topic. I'm sorry. Because this is not the dark side. Well, it is kind of the dark side of shit. Because it's like the money that they are... You know, when I work for a food bank and you think of all the people who don't have food around the world, like it's, you know, it's just sad. Yeah. And how many people they could feed with that one bike track. Yeah. Not saying that they should eliminate that sport. Keep the sport. I'm all pro that, like whatever sports you want to put in. Do they all have to be in one site? Can you just group kind of gymnastic, men's and women's gymnastics? You could do swimming someplace else and track and field someplace else. You could do it around the world.
You could do it at existing places. You could do it where you don't have to create new arenas and all this shit that's just a waste in all these towns
and
or
the
cities.
Olympic Village could be the freaking hotels that are already there.
All that money could be saved. You know, you would get a lot of people super excited that an Olympic event is happening in their city. It would drive a lot of money into each of those towns, and that money could then be used to better the cities and their communities with that one event. You got a good idea there,
stuff
Carol.
That nobody goes to, put them in like secondary markets, like my size town. You know, bring them to Wichita.
Well, you could. I mean, you could put some of the, you know, the lesser events, your kind of B and C events in smaller towns, and put your major
like,
one.
Oh my God, this is the best thing.
It would be huge. Everyone would love it. I would go to the curling championships. That would be amazing.
Oh my God, no, I definitely would. I'd be buying tickets for that.
Take home your souvenir.
There's I was listening to a thing the other day about the return on investments that cities get, and they don't get their money back.
No.
So I don't know. Maybe there's an Olympic official listening right now.
We are going to single-handedly change the Olympics.
We thought of that brilliant idea.
Yes. There you go. It started on a podcast about murderers, and with that, the Olympics changed forever. That's how the Wikipedia entry is going to go. And then they started talking about a Texas pastor accused of sex with a 15-year-old girl at church, motel, and supplying meth. Now, this guy has got, there's a picture of him. It looks like he's wearing, almost like a bed sheet over him. I'm not quite sure. It's a very interesting mugshot. I wonder like if he wasn't wearing a shirt and they said, here, put on this sheet. I don't know.
Maybe he was trying to cover his head up like, I'm so ashamed I'm getting a mugshot.
I don't know. He looks pretty content in it. It's in Vernon, Texas. A Texas church pastor is accused of having a sexual relationship with a 15-year-old girl and supplying her with methamphetamine. My God. Well, I suppose if you're into that, you would be probably on the meth train, too. On July 1st, Vernon police received a tip about an adult man seen at a local motel with an underage girl. Police said the mother of the unidentified 15-year-old girl told an officer she was trying to find her daughter at a motel in the 3100 block of U.S. Highway 287. The officer found Brian Pounds, a minister, Sounds like a porn name. I'm Brian Pounds.
It does.
Minister at the First Assembly of God Church in Vernon at the motel, Pounds told the officers he was renting a room for a person in need. Is that what you call it? According to an arrest warrant obtained by KFDX-TV. The room was rented under the church's name. The officer did not locate the girl at the motel. Later on July 1st, a teenager's mother found her at a Walmart in the area. Her mother brought the girl to the Vernon Police Department. The girl told police that she had been having sexual intercourse with Brian Pounds at the motel at about noon that day and said she had smoked methamphetamine in the room. The girl told police she and Pounds had been having intercourse for about a month. She said Pounds had originally...
Every time you say it, you just...
Pounds had been, this is horrible, had been counseling her and her family through the church. Sounds like it. Later at the Vernon Police Department, Brian Pounds denied any sexual contact with the girl. Pounds signed a consent form, and police then searched a motel room. Officers found physical evidence, including fibers, hairs, and suspected meth in the motel room, according to Vernon police. The teenage girl was examined at the Wichita Falls Hospital and was additionally treated for medical complications from smoking meth, police said. On July 6, investigators interviewed the girl at Patsy's House Children's Advocacy Center in Wichita Falls, about 50 miles east of Vernon. She said Pounds had gotten her a job cleaning houses and allegedly began offering her meth at the First Assembly of God Church in Vernon. She said the first two sexual encounters with Pounds occurred at the church. She said Pounds allegedly choked her. It's hard to say this without it coming across that way. Allegedly choked her during sexual intercourse at the motel on July 1st. Brian Pounds was arrested in Wichita Falls on July 16th for sexual assault of a child. On July 19th, Pounds was charged with delivery of a controlled substance to a minor. Pounds was held in the Wichita County Jail on $300,000 bond. Pounds was also a chaplain at the Tyson Foods, Inc. facility in Vernon, Texas as well. This is from True Crime Daily, by the way. There you go. Mr. Pounds did a lot of work.
Everything about that bothers me. Like, he's counseling the family and taking advantage of the girl and giving her meth, and like, which is highly addictive, and like choking her during sex. Like, she's 15.
Yep.
Like, that's just so sick. You know, and then if he's a pastor, I'm assuming they might have more than one pastor at that church, but I would assume he gives some kind of service. And knowing, like, how can you do that? Knowing you've got this horrible secret and you're just getting away with it, and who cares? You're getting what you want. And then you're getting up there and these people in your congregation believe that you're a good person.
Horrible.
And you're not.
Twisted people like this are going to find a way to do what they want to do with the path of least resistance. And in this case, it becoming a pastor at a small town little church in the middle of nowhere, and preying on people and their faith is the route that he took.
Thank God the mom went looking for her kid.
Yeah.
I just hope that they're able, she's 15 and she has a lot of life in front of her, but that's just a lot to go through. Yeah. Because probably, more than likely, what's happening is she thinks they were in love and he was, and I hope not. But a lot of girls who are 15, they're very easily influenced by these older men. Yeah. And they believe it. And that's just the ultimate betrayal.
Yeah, it is completely. So
it just bothers me.
There you go. Brian Pounds, everyone. Yay. Let's go to our next story here. A Reno woman charged with breaking into a Sun Valley dentist's office and stealing cash and checks is an employee at the office, authorities said on Thursday. She's also accused of performing dental surgery without a license, allegedly removing 13 teeth from one person at one time. Washoe County Sheriff's deputies responding to an after-hours alarm call The Sun Valley Boulevard dental offices found a woman broke in the back door, broke it open on Monday, May 3rd. Cash and checks totaling $22,861 were taken from a cash drawer, the sheriff's office said. Investigating detectives identified a person of interest in the burglary, 42-year-old Reno resident Laurel Elick, an employee at the dental office. The sheriff's office said Elick told multiple people that she had performed 13 tooth extractions on a single person at an earlier date, and that she had used anesthetic discarded by the same dental office. Her anesthetic discarded by the same dental office. Elick also admitted to this detectives, according to the sheriff's office. Laurel Elick was arrested on July 14th on charges of performing surgery without a license, burglary, grand larceny, conspiracy, and 3 felony probation violations. She was held at Washoe County Jail on $40,000 bond. I guess my question would be to you, what point and how does this end up going, and saying, you know what, I think I'd like you to do the surgery on the tooth extractions. Do you take insurance?
Okay, let me get this story straight. So she broke in and then did the extractions?
She broke in, stole money from them, and then also, so she was stealing from her workplace, and then also stealing the leftover anesthetics that were discarded, and then performed her own surgery outside of it, probably telling people she works at a dentist office.
And she removed how many teeth at one time?
13.
13?
13 from somebody at one time.
Jesus. I've had a tooth pulled before, and I couldn't imagine having 13 done at one time.
Yeah.
Under care of the receptionist, or whatever she did there.
It's a discount. It's she had I'm trying to think of the name of the medical plans. I think it was probably one of those Christian share medical plans where everybody kind of shares in the costs, and that was the best that they could do. That's who was covered, the receptionist.
What the hell?
But you have to meet her behind the dumpster at Lowe's.
How high do you have to be? How much meth did you have to smoke to where you would say, you know what, I got 13 teeth left, take them all?
Well, that's a bonus. You got free meth with every pulling. So. And
as long as you got the anesthesia left over from other surgeries from your work, who would agree to that?
Sounds like a great idea. Great way to save some money.
I just can't wrap my brain around that.
Save money, live better,
Oh my God.
It's behind the auto department, by that dumpster behind the Walmart. That's where
I get it. You're losing a tooth. We're going to do it the old fashioned way. Take a shot of whiskey, and I'm going to take it out with this pair of pliers.
God.
You're in an old timey saloon.
Yeah.
But no, she brings home leftover anesthesia, I guess, and injects it into their mouths.
Well, at least she thought to do that. I guess we got to give her credit for that. Participation trophy. She wanted to be a dentist. Kind of didn't do it the right way, but we don't want to judge. We don't want to, put too much pressure on her and make her think that she still can't achieve that goal. Should she want to become a dentist at some point, because you can do anything.
She can achieve that damn goal now.
She can do anything she wants. She's amazing.
Not now.
She's an amazing person.
Not now with those charges against her.
Amazing person, and has all the potential in the world. We don't want to be negative.
My God. That's batshit crazy.
Hey, Josh Duggar's attorney has accused the government of withholding evidence in the child porn case.
I meant to send this to you, and then I got distracted because I was working.
Yeah.
When I saw it, but the headline said Josh Duggar wants to see the evidence or something to that effect.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, that's sick.
I think you already saw the evidence, Josh.
It's no, he just wants to look at child porn again.
This is not the move you want to make.
That's his workaround. I can't get to child porn living in these people's house behind Chuck E. Cheese.
But if I just tell them that I want to see the evidence to prove it, then I get the child porn back.
Child porn,
yeah.
Right? But then as I read the article, it was more like the lawyers wanted to see it.
Oh, great.
But the headline read, Josh Duggar wants to see evidence.
Josh, as your attorney, we would like to advise you, maybe you shouldn't be asking to look at more child porn. That just doesn't look very good. Just say, just say no. Yeah, just say no.
And he's like, oh my God, it's been so long since I've looked at it.
Yeah. But former 19 Kids and Counting reality star Josh Duggar's attorney are requesting a Little Rock Police Department reports and related evidence in his child porn trial, according to a motion filed on Monday. On June 2nd, the government notified the defense that it had a one-page document described as a screenshot that law enforcement had from May 14th, 2019 IP address that they said belonged to Duggar. The defense required more information, such as the date of the screenshot, information under certain tabs, and the screenshot in native format, but claimed that they were denied. The information you requested, further detailing the downloading of CSAM from your account and by two other law enforcement agencies, are extraneous to the present investigation case and therefore is not covered by the rules of discovery. If you feel we are wrong, please explain to us why the discovery of this information is covered by the rules of evidence. Duggar's attorney said that they were also denied the law enforcement reports from Little Rock, Arkansas authorities, which allegedly led to the child porn allegations. In April, the former reality star was charged in 2-count indictments alleging 1 count of receipt of child pornography and 1 count of possession of child pornography. Duggar has pled not guilty to both counts. The jury trial has been postponed until November 30th. It will be heard in Fayetteville Federal Court by Judge Timothy Brooks. Duggar is living with a third-party custodian in Washington County until the trial begins. I will be selling Josh Duggar commemorative T-shirts and spoons outside of the courthouse, by the way, in case you'd like to get any when the trial begins. And possibly hot dogs as well. I'm going to get a cart.
And, of course, the money would go to victims.
Mm-hmm. And
Josh Duggar's defense fund.
Yeah. My God. You probably could come up with some really creative T-shirts and sell them out there, though, if you really think about it. Business opportunity, somebody. If you're thinking, I don't want to work right now or I'm out of work right now, get yourself some Duggar T-shirts, show up at that Washington County Courthouse on November 30th. You could probably make maybe $25. Just saying.
This is more than what you got.
Just saying. I think commemorative spoons or plates might go a little bit better, but I don't know. People do like T-shirts.
Yeah, that's a risk.
It is.
That's a risk.
It's a business decision. Maybe work on a little business plan before this all kind of kicks up. You could make some ching out there. You really could. How about Josh Duggar hot dogs, where you actually have his face like engraved onto the hot dog, where it's like burned in, or like a Josh Duggar message? I don't know. That'd be kind of interesting. A hot dog with a Duggar message on it.
I don't even know what that would be.
I don't know. And you have like a cross on one side of the hot dog too, just because they're very religious.
Burn Josh on the stake, something like that.
I don't know. I guess it depends if the hot dog cart is pro Duggar or anti Duggar. If you're like,
well, mine would be anti.
So maybe you could have a dueling carts. You could have a hot dog cart that is pro Duggar and then a hot dog cart that's anti Duggar. And both have special messages that get seared onto the hot dog that you buy.
I mean, of all your ideas, that's one of them, Tony.
I'm just trying to come up with some creative ideas for a college student in this town that's looking to make some money.
Did.
There you go. Commemorative Josh Duggar hot dogs outside of the Washington County Courthouse.
So at the end of this episode, your 2 takeaways is, I think that Olympics should be held in various cities around the world. Tony thinks that you should sell Josh Duggar hot dogs.
Commemorative Josh Duggar hot dogs.
I forgot that.
Outside of his trial.
Pro or con, your choice.
It'd be kind of almost like exit polling too, because with the hot dog sales in front of the trial today, there were 742 sales for Josh and 842 against Josh.
The good thing is you would make the news.
You would.
I mean, you'd get some publicity for that, because who would, everybody's there to cover the trial. Like CNN's like, what? You got a pro Josh Duggar hot dog you're selling? Please tell me more. And then MSNBC would be like, we're going to have the anti Josh Duggar hot dog right now.
It probably lead
a message.
It would lead Rachel Maddow, and she'd probably give you a 20-minute introduction, and somehow giving the history of hot dogs, and then somehow it gets up to, and now someone's selling commemorative Josh Duggar hot dogs in front of the courthouse.
And then she'll shake her head like, what?
Yeah.
What's the world come to?
The question is, would it be easier to brand the hot dog or the bun? That, I think, you could toast the bun with a message on it. Maybe you could do two messages.
No, I think the weenie. I think that if you did it just right,
yeah,
it would be like grilled in. You could read it better.
Do you limit the toppings, or do you make it like a signature dog where it's like there's just mayo on the dog? That's it. Nothing else. Just mayo on the dog. Or is it something else that you put on there? I don't know. All these decisions to make when you're planning the theoretical Josh Duggar hot dog stand outside of the courthouse.
Really, it's up to the person ordering the weenie.
Well, do you do that though? Like, you could make it custom where it's like, it's this or nothing. It's, I don't know. I don't know if you allow that much. I think you take the control away from the others, kind of like, Josh does. And then you, allegedly, and you make it just a very forceful hot dog that someone gets and they just have to consume. You
could have like different ones, You're a sick pervert, allegedly, hot dog.
Yeah. Like one just has his like username on Ashley Madison on it or something. It's like at whatever. Yeah. So many possibilities. Well, I hope somebody runs with that because I think that'd be really exciting. And if you do, I will stop down and get myself a dog for lunch one of those days. It would be lovely. That's going to wrap up today's episode of Dark Side of Wikipedia. If you like the program, check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/Dark Side of Wikipedia. You get access to our advanced episodes, our archive of episodes, and all of it with no commercials. Patreon.com/Dark Side of Wikipedia, and help keep this program on the air. We do appreciate that. Until next time, for Carol, I'm Tony. Thanks for listening to the Dark Side of Wikipedia.
Streaming only on Peacock, Ghislaine Maxwell had it all until she met Jeffrey Epstein.
Ghislaine Maxwell's charged with enticement of minors, sex trafficking of children, and perjury.
Epstein's Shadow, Ghislaine Maxwell. Streaming now, only on Peacock. Peacock fuels your true crime obsession with exclusive new originals. John Wayne Gacy, Devil in Disguise.
Clowns can get away with murder.
And Epstein's Shadow, Ghislaine Maxwell.
She inherited Jeffrey Epstein's secrets.
Plus the most bingeable crime series, Snapped. Sign up now at peacocktv.com. Peacock fuels your true crime obsession with exclusive new originals like John Wayne Gacy, Devil in Disguise.
He said to me, clowns can get away with murder.
Dr. Death, the undoctored story.
This guy's dangerous.
And Epstein's Shadow, Ghislaine Maxwell.
She inherited Jeffrey Epstein's secrets.
There was this whole other world going on.
Plus the most bingeable crime series, Buried in the Backyard and Snapped. And with the Dateline 24/7 channel that's always on.
Did you want her dead?
You can't not obsess. Sign up now at peacocktv.com. Streaming only on Peacock.
What do you know about Dr. Dunch?
He was charming, intelligent.
My patients mean everything to me.
Based on the unbelievable true story.
I can't make sense of it.
Dunch has 2 deaths that we know of. The state of Texas has executed people for less.
It's like he knew what he was supposed to do.
And he did the exact opposite.
Dr. Death, starring Joshua Jackson with Christian Slater and Alec Baldwin.
I am going to fix you.
All episodes streaming now, only on Peacock. Streaming only on Peacock.
What do you know about Dr. Dunch?
He was charming, intelligent.
My patients mean everything to me.
Based on the unbelievable true story.
I can't make sense of it.
Dunch has 2 deaths that we know of. The state of Texas has executed people for less.
It's like he knew what he was supposed to do.
And he did the exact opposite.
Dr. Death, starring Joshua Jackson with Christian Slater and Alec Baldwin.
I am going to fix you.
All episodes streaming now, only on Peacock. Streaming only on Peacock.
John Wayne Gacy killed 32.
Straight from the killer's mouth.
They want you to believe that I alone committed these murders.
The new gripping 6-part documentary series, John Wayne Gacy, Devil in Disguise. All episodes streaming now, only on Peacock.
Right now at Mattress Firm, upgrade your sleep and save up to $400 on our best brands. Plus, get a free adjustable base with qualifying Sealy purchase. Or get a $300 instant gift when you shop Tempur-Pedic, the #1 rated mattress in America. Our sleep experts have over 200 hours of training. And with our low price guarantee, you can rest assured you'll get the best bed at the best price. Only at Mattress Firm. Offer valid with qualifying purchase. Restrictions apply. Valid at participating locations only. For offer details, visit mattressfirm.com/sale.
Streaming only on Peacock.
John Wayne Gacy killed 32.
Straight from the killer's mouth.
They want you to believe that I alone committed these murders.
The new gripping 6-part documentary series, John Wayne Gacy, Devil in Disguise. All episodes streaming now, only on Peacock. Streaming only on Peacock. Ghislaine Maxwell had it all until she met Jeffrey Epstein.
Ghislaine Maxwell's charged with enticement of minors, sex trafficking of children, and perjury.
Epstein's Shadow, Ghislaine Maxwell. Streaming now, only on Peacock. Peacock fuels your true crime obsession with exclusive new originals like John Wayne Gacy, Devil in Disguise.
He said to me, Klaus can get away with murder.
Dr. Death, the undoctored story.
This guy's dangerous.
And Epstein's Shadow, Ghislaine Maxwell.
She inherited Jeffrey Epstein's secrets.
There was this whole other world going on.
Plus the most bingeable crime series, Buried in the Backyard and Snapped. And with the Dateline 24/7 channel that's always on.
Did you want her dead?
You can't not obsess. Sign up now at PeacockTV.com. Peacock fuels your true crime obsession with exclusive new originals like John Wayne Gacy, Devil in Disguise.
He said to me, Klaus can get away with murder.
Dr. Death, the undoctored story.
This guy's dangerous.
And Epstein's Shadow, Ghislaine Maxwell.
She inherited Jeffrey Epstein's secrets.
There was this whole other world going on.
Plus the most bingeable crime series, Buried in the Backyard and Snapped. And with the Dateline 24/7 channel that's always on.
Did you want her dead?
You can't not obsess. Sign up now at PeacockTV.com. Streaming only on Peacock.
What do you know about Dr. Dunch?
He was charming, intelligent.
My patients mean everything to me.
Based on the unbelievable true story.
I can't make sense of it.
Dunch has 2 deaths that we know of. The state of Texas has executed people for less.
It's like he knew what he was supposed to do.
And he did the exact opposite.
Dr. Death, starring Joshua Jackson with Christian Slater and Alec Baldwin.
I am going to fix you.
All episodes streaming now, only on Peacock.